Welcome back to the Spotlight on Sirius XM. I'm Jessica Shaw. I am thrilled to be joined by a star of stage and screen, Joe Locke. What a month you have coming up in the next month. Agatha All Along on Disney Plus. Heartstopper coming up in a little bit, season 3. Oh my gosh, Joe Locke, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. I haven't seen you since you were in Sweeney Todd on the Broadway, where you delivered such an extraordinary performance. I was I remember just being very blown away by how talented you are, and so happy that you were going to be in Agatha All Along as a member of the coven.
Yes.
So, I mean, the cast is bonkers. I mean, you and Catherine Hahn, who is, of course, Agatha Harkness, are an absolute joy to watch in addition to everyone else.
Good.
Tell me about the first meeting. The very first meeting of like, hey, here's this show, and there's a character who's a teen. P.S. He might just be called teen throughout the show.
Yep. Well, my first audition, I knew nothing about the show. I didn't even know what the show was called or what the character was called. It was just untitled Marvel show for untitled role. And I was like, well, it's Marvel, so of course I'll audition for it. And then as I got further in the process, they told me more and more about the part, and then I had a chemistry with Catherine, which is when I first met her, and it seemed to go all right, and we had some great chemistry, and then a few more auditions, and I finally got the part. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, tell me what is like the anxiety level when you're going to a chemistry read? Because on one hand, it's like, okay, you know that you have talent, you're good at what you do. On the other hand, chemistry is this thing. There's no amount of talent that can create it. It's there or it's not, right?
Yeah, I mean, they also, Disney flew me out to LA for 24 hours for this 10-minute audition, and it was, still during COVID time, so I had to test myself before I left for the airport, and then once I got to the audition at the Disney offices in Burbank, I was in a different room, and COVID tested me in that room whilst they were all waiting for me in the next room, and I was like, well, I've got it. I've come all this way. And now I'm going to do this test, and I'm going to get so close to the audition room and not be able to go in. So I was terrified. But then as soon as I went into the room, they were all so warm and welcoming that it just sort of all my nerves just left my body. It was weird.
Someone told me you and Catherine were wearing the same shoes. Is that true?
We had the same pair of Vans on.
I love that.
Yeah.
And was it pretty, did you feel it pretty immediately? I mean, I've known Catherine for forever, and she's just one of my favorite people on the planet.
She is amazing. She's the most talented actress, and obviously she's known for being a comedic actress, which she is, but she has this incredible dramatic ability as well of really making every character she plays so believable and realistic, in that, which I think actually then aids the comedy because you are really rooting for the character. But yeah, she's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. How much did they tell you? I mean, there are things that, as we'll see in these first few episodes, there's Teen knows who Teen is, but other people don't know and can't necessarily find out. So how much did they fill you in on him?
They were quite good at it. They sent me all the scripts, and then any extra questions I had, Jack was always there to answer. And there's the scary Marvel lore of LORE, not LAW, of all the different context of what came before, and so making sure everything fits into that is sometimes a bit of a brain freeze. But it was they were all very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, how much were you? Did you go home? I imagine you going home with some giant storybook sized, having to do all of your research.
Yeah, I mean, they sent me stuff to do research from, and then I also because found out I got the part in September. We didn't start filming until January, so right. I was very excited to do it. So I was very excited. Just I'm just gonna do my own research anyway, and I rewatched every MCU thing and read some of the comics, and I did a lot of my own research more because I was just so excited.
Did you really watch every single MCU
movie?
Every
film that had been out from the start to finish. Yeah,
I'd
watched them all anyway, but
right. But just to rewatch, did you do them in the chronology of when they came out or when they were set? Or okay, what was your favorite?
My favorite is Black Widow. I think it's such a good film.
Yes,
I think it's a really, really strong film.
Okay, good. Yeah. Did you watch WandaVision? Of
course, I did. Of course, I watched it 3 times.
Yeah, that's so incredible.
Yeah.
And you guys filmed back in summer of 2022? 22?
We filmed January to June 23.
23. Okay. So you got the part in the fall of 22 and then you filmed in 23.
Yeah.
Does it feel like 100 years ago at this point or not really?
It does, but it also like doesn't at the same time. It's weird, you know. It feels like a while ago, but also I don't know, because it's been such an integral part of my life since then. That's been quite a continuous thing.
It's interesting because I think about Heartstopper too, and you also had source material there to draw from, and yet I imagine as an actor, it's very important to sort of have that source material and have the, you know, to be able to kind of contextualize where your character is in this universe, and then also ditch it because you need to play your version.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, in this show, Jack was so great, and she'd written such an incredible. Her and her team had written such an incredible story and scripts, but also they were very open to like letting me explore teen and fine teen myself, and any improv I had or any add-ons or you know things I thought that he would say. They were really, really receptive to that as well.
I love that. Was there any moment that Teen was gonna get a name that we would know?
You'll have to watch the show and find out.
Oh, okay. Oh, wonderful. I can't. Okay, describe to me the coven. Describe to me this coven, which is amazing. And yeah, go ahead.
Chaotic in the best way. You know, being on set with all of these amazing witches was just the best experience. They've all got such incredible personalities and incredible careers, and a lot of extroverts in one room.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you an extrovert?
I feel like I'm an introvert extrovert. I definitely enjoy being around other people and getting the energy, but I will often not be the loudest person in the room.
Right. That's how I feel. I present like an extrovert, but I'm actually an introvert.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm drained by it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Wow. That must be tough as an actor. You must be so tired at the end of the day of shooting.
Always just constantly, my life is just constantly being tired.
I'm sure. When I saw you last, when you were in Sweeney Todd, I actually, the night that I saw you, Patty LuPone was sitting across the aisle from me.
Oh, amazing.
Which was mind-blowing. She is also in the coven and so incredibly fun. So you clearly, by the time you were on stage, had bonded with her, and I know that she adores you and feels very protective of you. Did that kind of translate on screen?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of Patty since I was a kid. I'm still like a proper Broadway geek. So to get to work with her was like the most amazing thing ever, and she's such an incredibly talented person. Like she's 75 and she would be the person on set with the most energy, to like always like ready to go. Like, I'd be like exhausted and tired in my 19-year-old body, and she'd be like telling me to get up and stop being so lazy. Like, I don't understand how she does it.
Yeah.
Like she's no. I'm going to watch her play tonight, which I'm very excited about. But you know, to get to call someone like her a friend is really amazing.
Did you know that at one point she said she wanted to give you diva lessons because she felt like you weren't enough of a diva?
Yeah, she wanted to. She said at the start, "I'm gonna teach you how to survive in this industry, kid." And then there was something that I don't know. I think something had happened, and I wasn't very happy. And then afterwards, she was like, "You don't need the lessons. You're all good."
I love that.
Yeah.
That's just a wonderful duo. I feel like the two of you. I understand that Jack brought in a witch on set just as like a consultant. Is that true?
No.
Oh, really?
No,
Oh my goodness.
Not that I was aware of.
Okay. Oh.
I think they definitely did have like research with witches to try and make, you know, with people who are witches. And I think Catherine worked with a witch, but there was never. I mean, there were a lot of witches on set, but never a consultant witch.
Yeah. How much like witchiness research did you, like separate from this character and whatever, did you do?
Quite a lot. I mean, I'm from the Isle of Man, which is a huge like witch folklore history, and so I did a lot of history research along with that, and you know, it was. I just find the whole history of witchcraft so interesting. And how, you know, it really just started as men being afraid of powerful women. And you know, that's sort of what our show does best, is just a massive group of powerful women, and I feel very honoured to have been able to be alongside these powerful women.
Yeah. I mean, it must feel like it's I was thinking that for you, that you're like the youngest and you're this guy in this coven of witches, and how that must have felt so incredible, and just to be there, to be there standing with them.
It was amazing, it was I feel so lucky to have been able to be a part of it, and to be able to have spent so much quality time with these incredible people who I always describe Patty as like the last of a rare breed of like genuine like icons, like legends that I don't think you really get in it as much anymore. But she is a bona fide legend, and to get to know her and hear her life stories in a way that very few people have been able to is like one of the greatest honors of my life.
Yeah, and you get to sing with her.
I know.
Okay, let's just talk about, I mean, Bobby and Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez did the music.
They did.
I mean, the Witches Road song is so good. I couldn't stop. It was like an earworm for me for like the first 3 days after I saw it.
It's an earworm for me, and it's been in my head for 2 years. People keep being like, "Oh, it's so sick of my head." I'm like, "Yeah, join the club."
Yeah,
and it's a great one to have in your head.
It's so good. They're just extraordinarily talented. So how was it getting to sing with those witches?
It was amazing. I mean, obviously when you're Patti LuPone, she's in the top line singing the top line, and she bursts through that line. But even working with Kristen and Bobby was so amazing. They are obviously, I mean, like they've got like 2 EGOTs, so it's not really, you can't really get much better than that. And being able to every day just felt like a real, like I tried to take everything I could out of it, learning wise, and really soak it all up and soak it all in, because it's not often that you get the chance to work with such amazing people.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun as well.
How do you, I mean, I imagine when I think of, I mean, in Heartstopper, you have this, you get to go back and sort of visit this character that I imagine is very important to you. And so you haven't had to, leave him behind. But how was it when you wrapped Agatha? Did it feel like, wait, I'm not ready to say goodbye to you, Teen? Yeah,
I mean, it still does feel like that. Teen is such a, I really hope that, I think, the Teen we see in the first few episodes is really different to the Teen we see in the last few episodes. He goes through a massive arc in the series, which is really fun to play. And I see that arc continuing in my head, but that's not up to me. So.
Yeah, so that's very similar to, I feel like, to WandaVision and to a bunch of Marvel shows, that things evolve, and change, and as the show progresses. So is there anything that you can say, I'm guessing the answer is no, but about how, I don't know, adjectives, how things will progress?
Yeah, I mean, the series definitely it has the dark tone throughout the series, but the dark tone definitely comes to the forefront in the second half of the series, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. I talked to Sashir the other day, and she said there's like a group chat called Coven that you guys, that makes me so happy.
It's great. It's really great. It's very cool when you get a text from that group chat.
Oh my gosh. Do you have like group chats with like special names for all the things you work on?
Actually, yeah, I do actually, yeah.
Like, what was your Sweeney group chat called?
I think it's called like Yas Sween.
Sure, yeah.
It's a big group chat with everyone in.
What's your Heartstopper group chat called?
I think, well, actually, I don't know who named it this, but we can't figure out who's the admin of the group chat, so it's just called Bonjour, because when we filmed season 2, we're in France. But it's not the best name, I'll be honest, but I don't know who's the admin to change the group chat name.
Right, exactly. So just,
It's stayed like that now. And it's been like 2 years this had that name, so we've sort of just kept it like that now.
When did you finish filming season 3?
December last year.
Okay,
December 23.
So this feels really recent to you, and that's on Netflix. What, October 3rd?
Yeah.
We'll get the whole season. Yeah. How do you? And this is an intense one. Yeah,
it's this season definitely. We keep saying that every season of the show grows up with the characters, and this is no exception. And the series really delves into Charlie's mental health and how that affects him and his eating disorder, and how that affects people around him and how they deal with that. And then the second half of the season is about sex, basically.
Right.
So two very different arcs in the show, but really important topics to cover. And I'm really proud of it. I think it's the best season yet.
Yeah. Do you have I excuse me, read correctly that season 4, should it happen, would be the last one?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think about going back and going back to Charlie in another season?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to finish the story.
Yeah. Oh, that's so special. If you were coming up with like a dream, because you can see a whole season, if people were going to binge watch Heartstopper, what's your recommendation?
It's definitely a one-day thing. You know, what's good about Heartstopper is it's really only like 4 hours long, because it's 8 half-an-hour episodes. So just get some chocolate and watch it in one day. Get some tissues.
Yeah.
I started watching the new season with my mum, and we got 6 episodes in, and then I was like, I've got to turn it off, Mum. I just can't. They hadn't even started having sex yet. They were just talking about it, and I was like, I'm really sorry, Mum. We just both sat on the sofa really awkwardly, and she was like looking at me, and I was like, you're gonna have to watch this on your own. I know we got this far in. We're like another 2 episodes left, but I just can't do it.
And did she? I mean, that would be so awkward anyway.
She was like, oh, thank God you said that, because I can't watch this in front of you. So she's going to watch it on her own. Right.
But even then, like, are you going to get a text from her and be like, okay, my mom just watched me having fake sex?
Yeah. Which is a weird thing. But then so are millions of people are going to watch me having fake sex. It's just a weird part of the job.
Right. Yes.
Better than watching with real sex, I guess.
I guess so. Right. Exactly. 100%. When do you think about going back on stage? Because you're so talented, and I feel like now that I've seen you once on Broadway, I want to see you many more times.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go back on stage soon. I really had the best time in Sweeney, and I'd love to do, something new or something different.
Yeah. Have you and Patty discussed this?
If to do a show about LuPone would I'm not sure my brain could handle it. It would be the best thing ever.
I mean, I have
to find a show, and I'm going to pitch it to her.
Because my mind is already working. Like, please tell me that you've tried to think about what's a show that has roles for the two of you.
I have, but there's not really that many for our different casting types.
Oh.
But if anyone wants to write me and Patty LuPone a show, I will persuade her to do it.
Okay. I mean, yes, people get to work. Well, I mean, Heartstopper's incredible. I've not seen any of season 3 yet, but October 3rd on Netflix, the whole 3rd season, and Agatha All Along, which is so good, and I'm just so excited to see where this turns and the twists that it takes. Agatha All Along every Wednesday. Joe Locke, it's so wonderful to see you, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
We will be right back on Spotlight.